administration has been shattered. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Valderas. Moving forward to the next and final citizens communication that's been submitted is Dylan Torres, is that correct? Turn? Oh, I'm sorry. Dylan Turn. Yes. Yes.
Dear Commissioners Court, my name is Dylan Turner. I was a witness to the incident on Tuesday, May 6th at the Second Mines Community Center involving Mercedes Sanchez, Olga Ramos' assistant, and Lynn Valderas. It is appalling and shameful to see how Olga Community Center falsely accused and arrested and treated Lynn Valderas. He is our community's respected individual with the community and the Elm Creek Park, yet he is treated like a worthless garbage by Olga Ramos' administration. Having a community center employees banning Lynn Valderas from the community center and having these ongoing issues with him regarding the park won't do your administration any good and will not make it, and will make it nearly impossible for him to do the work he needs to do for the Elm Creek Park. There is trees that were recently approved by the Commissioners Court that I donated myself, and they can't be planted now because of this incident. If these ongoing conflicts are not resolved by Olga Ramos' administration, then Lynn will have no choice but to wait until a new administration comes in. I highly suggest to the court to address the complaint against Mercedes Sanchez and provide consequences such as removing her from her position instead of just turning a blind eye to the truth. Also, Olga, you said on your statement that the incident happened inside the community center and that you witnessed the incident happen, and that all that is a lie, because after all the sheriff's department left the community center that morning, you walked into the community center. We even had a conversation before you even went into the building. Lying under oath is a crime, and you can be prosecuted for such. Thank you for allowing me to speak today.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Being that there are no further citizens' communications that have been submitted, we're going to go ahead and proceed with the items of the agenda. There are items that have been submitted for consent, for consideration, and for discussion of the court's consideration. Are there any items that wish to be moved from the consent agenda and placed into the regular portion of the agenda for consideration?
Yes, Judge. I have item number 3.
Okay.
In executive session. And item 36 in the regular agenda in executive session.
Okay. For other than the items that have been submitted from items number 1 through 22, for the exception of item number 3 that will be placed into executive session at the request of the commissioner. That'll be an issue, of course, that you wish to defer to legal on that matter, which will be under section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code, consultation with legal for that matter and consideration of that discussion. Is there a motion to proceed with the approval of items 1 through 22 with the exception of item 3? So moved. Motion has been made by Commissioner Reese. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 23. Are there any questions from the Commissioner's Court regarding the reports that have been submitted to the court by the directors and corresponding officials on this matter? Any questions? No. Mr. Perez, is there? If you could just give just a rundown. I know that there's been some contributions that have been given recently that I'd just like to highlight and appreciate and express that to the court. One, of course, on the acceptance from some companies that have been contributing for the purposes of the food pantry's success.
Yes, first and foremost, thank you, Commissioners Court, Judge Ramsey English Cantu, and Commissioners. Something that I wanted to bring out, just a quick, we had a very good, successful month, thank God. Just a quick highlights that I wanted to mention to the court was Kiewit Corporation. We're proud to report that generous donation of $5,000 were donated from Kiewit Corporation. It was a tremendous success. I decided to use those funds to have resources for children. In the summer, it's a little bit unfortunate that I do have nutrition, but mostly for adults. So it's quite a challenge to, you know, have for children, teenagers, and stuff like that. So I was approached by a young lady. I sat down with the judge, and we were able to approve it through the court. These funds allowed us to provide a more balanced nutrition for food options for children in our service area. So thank the good Lord. Right now we're pretty much set for about a month to two, hopefully. And you know how they say it opens doors when when businesses of this type see that one, it only takes one, and then everybody decides to help out. So um, another one that we did have was my staff was was willing to give back to the community. So we had a little meeting, and we decided to do something similar to what the commissioner has for the community. So we had a nice Mother's Day celebration. Our department uh, event, we honored almost 100 over 60-year-old ladies in our department, and sometimes there's people that go there, and I tell my staff sometimes we have to be even counselors, and I know we're not qualified counselors, but we are their little family every month in and month out. So we decided to uh, go through our program through Laredo and handpick the program. Decided to pick almost 100 ladies over 60 years old, and it was a very successful event. And we did have some reinforcement from the community, and the compassion was there. And I think you witnessed it, a judge, and some of you guys that were able to witness that event. Um, Also, I just want to point out emergency operation system. We were in contact. That's another thing that we did. Our department and as an ELC, we were able to keep in contact with you, Judge, and we were also able to assist quite Pablo, myself, and yourself, Judge, through the thunderstorm that we had, and just to give you at ease that our department's always ready. And then I had some phone calls for you, Judge, to help out on the boat ramp. So we were able to provide some resources to those people, and emergency operations is very crucial. And I know that law enforcement that are here, pretty sure firsthand know that. And just last but not least, our update on our facilities. Right now they're clean, they're sharp. We're getting ready for some heat waves that will be coming in. So I just sometimes, like I said, I got my staff ready. We were providing some hydration for our staff. So just to let you know, commissioners, I will also be getting some resources, and I will be getting with you. Once the resources come in, I will let you know and notify you. We got some real organic vegetables and fruits that are behaving this way. It's sandia season, so I'm pretty sure. And just to let the court know that when I get you nutrition like that, what I do is I just divide it by 4, and I send you guys your text. That way, it evens out throughout the county. Last but not least, I want to thank the court for allowing me the opportunity to be transparent. Because, like I said, my number one rule, as the judge has always told me, we work on a transparent basis with each one of you commissioners. Thank you.
Very well. Thank you, Mr. Pettis, and I just want to extend, of course, my thanks to the staff, because I know that they've been working a lot on those matters, and especially on the contributions that we've been working to get to these residents. So the program has truly excelled, and I wanted to highlight that because in the discussions that I had with the South Texas Food Bank with JJ, who was here this past week, they were very appreciative of the work and the change that they've seen in the operations of the Maverick County Food Pantry. So I just wanted to personally thank you, Mr. Pettis, for the work that you're doing out there on that one.
Thank you, Judge and Commissioners Court.
Moving forward on that, I do also just want to touch base on the matters right now for the on the grant programs. Specifically, could we just get a quick rundown on that one before I have anything on the others that are going on, so that we can check on the next question that might be asked.
Yes. Judge, Commissioners, good evening. One thing we want to highlight here was the grants. Since our last monthly report, we did get funded, or we're going to be recommended for funding for 2 more grants. And that's going to be the Violence Against Women's Act, which is something we do get regularly every year. The Sheriff's Department provides information for that. We both apply for it. We have to go to Uvalde to present these grants. So that one will be recommended for funding. A grant that we, first time that Maverick County tried for this year is the Juvenile Justice and Truancy Prevention Grant Program. We were able to get rank number 1 in that one, and we were able to secure funding. in the amount of $20,680.81. Again, this one's going to go recommended since we scored higher than the other two applicants. This grant is going to help out the justice of the peace. Each of them, it's going to be a juvenile caseworker with the requirements that they have coming in, the JPs to track all the juvenile offenders for alternative programs. We felt that the juvenile case manager would be critical to assist each and every justice of the peace to keep track of the juvenile, since it is going to bring more workload to them.
But this would be one individual that's kind of set for all four.
Correct. It's going to be I'm not sure exactly how they want to do the accommodations, but it will be somebody that's going to work for all the juveniles in each of the precincts.
Very well.
Correct. And just so you guys know, we do keep a tally of us. We're coming up on 2 years since the grant department was open. So since then, we have an application success rate of 71%. That's pretty high. The usual average is around 50 to 40. So we're doing very well on that. We've submitted a total of 32 applications. 17 have been awarded, and the total amount of $3,627,588 of grant funding that has been brought over the past 22 months for Maverick County since the grant department has been opened.
Are there any questions from the commissioners? That's good. I appreciate all the work that you're doing, Isaac, as every department is doing their best. But I know that there's some of these issues, and when it comes to funding, it's something that's crucial to moving forward. And I know that the commissioners have reached out to you as well to assist in wherever there's a need for funding, and I know that you've been available to them. So if there's ever any requests that the commissioners need, please make sure that y'all are reaching out to Mr. Reese in order to assist with that process.
Judge,
Yes.
I said when I know that we have to do a county match, and some of that was allocated during the budget process. Would we need to allocate more so that we don't risk in getting those grants when the next budget cycle comes around? Because if we don't match it, we're going to lose that.
Correct. And I'm glad you brought that up, Commissioner, because we have currently right now with the cost in the OLS matching and the issues that we've been facing with that. There was a big issue to where anything that was a match that we're getting reimbursed for, which technically a lot of them we are getting directly reimbursed for, we were utilizing, of course, deficit fund reduction to utilize that and then get that reimbursed in, which is how the OLS fund is technically being utilized. So there is the funding match that we are trying to use from deficit fund. Some of that funding, of course, is not a lot available at the moment, and because we have not been able to finalize all reimbursements on everything. So in that case, we work with the departments to make those necessary budget adjustments and amendments so that we're not losing on these funding. Some of these funds, I think, are crucial to department operations that are actually going to be able to do more in services in order for us to go ahead and move forward. So there will be needs for additional matches, but we're working that out through, of course, our deficit fund at the moment.
And I would recommend also the department and the commissioners, if you foresee a grant that you're going to apply for, especially coming around budget time when you talk with the auditors, maybe you can sit with me, we can determine what a match would be, and then we'll visit with the auditors. That way we can accommodate for that match whenever we do
in the new budget cycle.
Good.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mr. Reese, and we appreciate the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any other questions for the departments?
Yes, I have a question for the auditors department.
Ms. Barrios.
In reference the water meter at Elm Creek Park, I just wanted status on that. I understand the PO is in your office pending. And I also, in reference to the Elm Creek Park too, I got the report on the request for proposals, and it can be modified.
Yes, it was just something like that's what we need, the specifics on the project, but we don't have all the details.
Okay.
So he gave you a basic draft so that you could add or take from it. But
Okay,
it's a
sounds
template
good.
for you to modify.
Okay, can we take this, I have a legal question in reference to this, can we take this to executive?
If it's specific to, of course, to the reporting
To the
that matter
report.
for the purposes, Ms. Barrientos, if we can just consider that under the reporting period for that purpose with a legal question to be addressed.
And then the,
On the
we'll
meter.
follow up tomorrow on that water. I know Jessica's been calling, and if we
I think on
can,
the meter, there was an issue, right, that they had to, Waterworks had to give a special permit, but that has been done.
we did it. I
Okay.
believe, we were pending something in reference, the check to be cut out or
All right.
something. I don't know what the holdup is, but I know Jessica's been calling, and that's what I needed status. But we can visit on that
In the morning.
in the morning, tomorrow morning, and then we'll visit on these questions that I have in
Yes.
executive.
Very well. Are there any other questions from the court regarding the reports? Now we'll go ahead and proceed then with that, and we'll take that concern, of course, for consideration into executive. Moving forward with the court's consideration, we can just move out of order for item number. Yes,
Sorry to interrupt. Is the attorney here present?
yes, they are. They're on Zoom this afternoon.
Just want to make sure that we dot our i's and cross
Yes,
our t's
they are.
because the item is a presentation item, and now we're going to take closed session on an item that's in a presentation report. I just wanna
Mr.
make
Matt,
sure that
are we?
We're not
Are we on
taking
here?
action. We're not
Mr. Grove?
taking action.
You need an item to take it off. You just want to say.
It's just a legal
Mr. Grove,
question.
are you on the line there? I know that you've been listening in, but there's just a legal question in reference, and I don't know if you're muted or not, but in reference to the question, I guess there's a question on some reporting for presentation purposes on the directors and specifically off with the auditors concern. Is there a concern there if the item for regular, well, it's under regular items for the presentation of county department monthly reports? A question arose with the auditors department. If there is a legal question that the commissioner may have in regards to this matter, would that be something that we could consider under executive session, or would this be a matter that we would need to bring back at a later date? You're muted, Mr. Grove. I believe you're muted. That's the only thing we can't hear you. If we can get this cleared right now, we can move forward, Commissioner. We'll drive back.
Okay.
That way we can get this technical difficulty and just maybe take this item before we take that item into for consideration.
Yes.
We'll ask him. Okay. But duly noted, it's a valid question. Moving forward to item number 33. Discussion and appropriate action to approve a resolution to submit a grant application to the Motor Vehicle Crime Prevention Authority, MVCPA, for a fiscal year 2026 Catalytic Converter Task Force Grant Program project. In regards to this, Mr. Reese.
Judge and Commissioners, this is the catalytic converter grant that we applied for and got funded for last year. We're gonna apply, this would be for the next fiscal year, so we're applying in advance. It was estimated, this is for 3 positions, we're estimating around 216,320 is the total, with a $36,054 dollar match. And this is, we were working for the Sheriff's Office, we're still completing the application is due on the 26th of this month. And this is just to continue the same operations that we've been having.
And this is just a resolution to submit for that actual grant. Okay. All right, is for the purposes of this program and of course of all that's going on with the Motor Vehicle Crime Prevention Authority grants, is there a motion to proceed? Motion has been made by Commissioner Rios. Is there a second?
Second.
Second has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Reese. You're excused. Moving forward, then, were we able to get clarification there to make sure that legal can hear or cannot on the process? Mr. Almaraz, if you can just let us know once he's back. Directors, for those directors that don't have any other agenda items that are on the agenda, if you do not have any other matters pertaining to that, you all are excused as well. If there is nothing to go ahead and continue with the agenda as it's been directed, item number 24, discussion and appropriate action to accept and publish environmental review in the local newspaper for the Maverick County CDV 23-0423 El Indio project. Mr. Raul.
Judge,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
As part of the grant application, is that we have to do an environmental review for all projects that are funded through TDA. That means the distance between the airport, any coastal barriers, any flood zone. So what we do, we publish that information over on the newspaper, and we make that available for review for the general public if they have any questions. We do have backup here just in case anybody wants to review it, and we're just asking for your consideration for us to go ahead and move forward and put that into the newspaper and advertise that. And that will be for a legal project. Sorry.
Is there a motion on this item? So a motion has been made by Commissioner Rios, second by Commissioner Reese. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 25, discussion and appropriate action regarding the presentation of Section 3 goals and requirements related to the Maverick County Quemado CFC 23-0422 project. Mr. Diaz.
Judge, could I combine both Section 25 and 26? Because they deal with the same presentation. One of them will be for the Quemado project, and the other one will be for the El Niño project. The community for Quemado, that's for the $377,000. That's going to be for the replacement of the 12 fire hydrants, the water lines on that one. On El Niño, we're doing the water pump station with above storage tank and also a generator on that one as well. Now, what your Section 3, what it entitled is part of your condition on to get funding for TDA is that you have to make available for local businesses that are within the community to apply for when you have an RFP. So you go in there and submit, which we done, which we advertise in the local brand paper. But some engineers do post it online, but we do make it available on there. And also, we have to make sure that any employees or any job opportunities are made available to your low income within that region. Meaning that for individuals who live within El Indio community and also Quemado and Colonia as well. What constitutes a Section 3? A company qualifies as Section 3 if it's owned by low-income person, is owned by Section 8 assisted housing resident, or 75% of your labor force are from low income or from Section 3 that are live within that region for 3 months on there as well. Yeah, the project is expected to include the following contract opportunities. As noted before, we have administrative services, we have engineering services, and the prime contractor for Quemado replace 23 6-inch and 8-inch gate valve, install 12 fire hydrants and erosion control. And it's number 4 for El Niño. It's going to be for the pump station. Your bumps above storage tank and your pump station, and also for your generator as well. Now, to qualify as a Section 3 worker, your annual income falls below the county threshold for your family size and your current or a recent youth bill participant. And we do have we provided information on how to register. For those who want to register, they can go to Work in Texas or go into HUD Section 3 Opportunity Portal, and we can provide that link as well. And of course, we provided the mapping of what your coverage area will be for your project for Quemado and El Niño on the presentation as well. And that's the information I have. We do have some additional information at the end of the presentation, more additional website for more information for anybody who wants to follow up and have more information on Section 3.
Very well. And this is, of course, consistent for both action items that are
For
going forth.
Guatemala and the new project. Correct.
Are there questions that the court has for Mr. Diaz?
Yes, I do.
Yes, Commissioner.
Hello, Mr. Diaz. In reference to the one in Quemado,
Yes.
we, the court last meeting approved, not approved, but we opened up the bids.
Yes.
What is the next process so that we can move forward with that project?
The next process is that you have to, the engineer will have to review. If we have more than one bid, they will do a cost analysis. They'll review it, see which one meets all the criteria that you have on your bid. In this case, we only have one. So we start to go through the process. The engineer still has to review it, make sure that they are in compliance to what our recommendation, what their recommendation and what TDA's recommendation is, and of course what y'all needs is as well. Once that's done, then we come back to the court and we ask for an action to go ahead and to accept bids as presented. If there's any changes to that one, depending, will have to come from an engineer himself. The engineer will review it and say, yeah, they're not in compliance. Since we are doing fire hydrants, there are some conditions that you have to meet, and one of them is being BABA. So, yeah, I apologize for that. But you will have to make sure that they're compliant to BABA compliant regulations. If they're not, then they have to make sure that they are. And of course, there are other conditions as well on the RFP that we included on there as well. Make sure that they're, again, Section 3 on here as well.
Okay, and you will initiate that meeting with the engineer?
No, the engineer should have already requested a copy from either from the county clerk. Yes, they have to initiate it. They should have been here at the last meeting when the bids were being read out. They should initiate a phone call or a reach out to either to Mr. Gabriel or to your county clerk to get a copy of those bids. Now, if they have it, then that's when we'll step in and say they need to go in there and pass it out.
So as far as on this, and Commissioner, if I may, and as far as where we're at on this one, that's the timeline from point of reviewing bids to awarding the bid right now, as far as what we're looking at, we shouldn't be taking longer than
we should have
2 weeks.
To be honest, this should have been already on this meeting.
Okay.
Because the bids were due on the 5th, I believe.
Correct.
And they were read out. So the engineer should have requested them, should have reviewed them, check to see if they're in compliance with what our recommendations and what our specs are. Make sure that everything's in order. Then come back. Then we'll make a review.
So in regards into that, the court should be meeting, of course, next week. In that matter, I think that we'll have planning, make sure that we can follow up on that to see where the engineer is on both of these projects, because I know they're two distinct engineers for both projects, in order to see where we're at and to move this forward, to see what it is that we need to do to get this moving forward. Because I know the commissioners have been anxious about the projects that have been pending to get this going in their precincts.
Now, for El Indio, we are in contact with the Garcia as well. They're drafting up plans as we had discussed prior to that. I think some of the hold up was back on the discussion with the city, but I think we're going to move forward with the project that we have. So he's drafting up the plan for that one. Now for El Quemado, since it's only, and going back to my procurement date, is that we have one bid. I don't know if we need to get special consideration from TDA to move forward with just with one bid, because it was advertised in the paper. So we did follow. We did our due diligence. So we did everything we needed to do to make sure that everybody had the opportunity to bid, and we only have one bid. So we want to make sure that we caught it, like what the commissioner said, to make sure we cross our T's and dot our I's, and maybe we need to get TDA to give us a TNA on how to proceed with one bid. Because normally, sometimes they'll ask us, they consider sole source, so do you need special consideration or do you need approval? So we'll discuss that with TDA about that.
So we would have an answer for that one?
Yes.
As to...
Yes. I can give them a call tomorrow and find it.
And,
yes, Commissioner.
And can you notify me on that one,
Yes.
please, and
Yes,
see
ma'am.
what they say so that
Yes,
we
ma'am.
can move forward?
Yes, ma'am.
And then I'll work with planning and reference the engineer.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the item that we have, of course, right now in question is item number 25. Is there a motion to proceed? This is in reference to the Maverick County Canalo project.
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion? Being there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 26, discussion and appropriate action regarding the presentation of Section 3 goals and requirements related to the Maverick County CDV 23-0423 Alindio project. This is the same process. Of course, it's just a different line item for the grant. So is there a motion to that effect?
So
Motion has been made by Commissioner Rios. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Ramos. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Thank you. Is there anything else that you have on the agenda? No, right?
I think that's it.
That's it. Thank you. Y'all are excused.
Thank you.
We'll go ahead and proceed with item number 27. A discussion and appropriate action to transfer Roberto Diaz from the full-time detention officer for Department 561 with a pay rate of $17.82 per hour to full-time bailiff position with a pay rate of $20.69 per hour for Department 560 at the Maverick County Sheriff's Office. Yes, Mr. Garcia.
Good afternoon, Judge Commissioners. There is to be a modification on this. His old pay rate is $17.82, and his new pay rate should be $18.31, and it's all being paid through a general fund.
Through general?
Yes, through not SB 22, just the sheriff's office.
Okay. And y'all met with them to make sure that with auditing and HR,
Yes.
that everything's in compliance? Okay.
Yes.
Is that
the only thing here is as long as there's a budget there, you're good.
so? We're looking there. That would be 1831.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Based on the comments from the auditor, I'd like to just ask for the court to consider a motion to amend the item to make that reflection of that change from the pay rate, which would be the new pay rate, from 20.69 per hour to 18.31 per hour. Is there a motion to make that correction? Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. There's a second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion?
I have a question.
Yes.
How many babies do we have?
It's just one. Oh, it's going to be two. Yes.
Is this a replacement
Yes.
or is it a new position?
Before it was Miguel Davila, he left to ISD, and now he's being replaced by Mr. Diaz.
It's just a replacement.
Yes, that's correct.
So the bailiffs usually take their work to district judges and here also? No. And with the county courthouse?
I do not have an answer for you for that. I don't know there.
What was the question, Commissioner?
Where are the bailiffs operating? Where are
So
they
the bailiffs they operate out of the 293rd and the 3065th.
only those
Yes.
district judges?
The county court is operating out of the precinct 4 constable that's been assigned as the bailiff for the court.
Jimmy Benavides is is he a bailiff?
Yes.
Yes, he's in the 293rd, I believe. Or well, I think y'all share. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Judge, how that's working. Okay,
I just want to identify what they have in there.
very well.
Okay,
So if there is no further discussion on this item right now, the item, of course, it's just for the modification of the agenda item, which is there's a motion on the floor in a second for the modification to read 1831 instead of 20.69. Clarification on that, Ms. Olguin? Are we good? Yes, very well. There's no further discussion on this item? Motion to amend is a call for the question. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. All right, now we'll go ahead and actually take the item up for consideration. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos, second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 28, discussion and appropriate action to approve the extension of vacation time for Deputy Sheriff Crystal Gomez due to workload. Mr. Garcia.
That's all it is for, just to request for an extension for vacation.
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion? And Mr. Sanchez, just in regards to this particular matter, there's a time period that they need to use this during that extension period, correct?
Yeah,
3 months to utilize it. And then after that, they lose them. Okay. All right. Well, then with that being said, we're going to go ahead and proceed if there is no further discussion. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 29, a discussion and appropriate action to transfer Mr. Jose Alfredo Hernandez Flores, full-time deputy sheriff from Department 560 to full-time detention officer, Department 561, with a pay rate of 16.71 per hour, with an SB 22 supplement of 1.11 per hour. Mr. Hernandez Flores will be replaced or will replace Ms. Catalina Villarreal for the Maverick County Sheriff's Office, Tomball's Detention Center. Lieutenant.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Judge. This is a simple transfer, same thing as item 27. He's going from Department 560 to Department 561.
Is there questions from the court? Is there any clarification needed by the auditor?
Yes,
No?
there was no
You're good. Moving forward, if there is no concerns with the modifications, there's no further requests on the HR side. We're good. If not, all those, is there a motion? Motion's been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion. Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Thank you. Do you have any other items? Is that it?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Item number 35.
35. Item number 35, discussion and appropriate action to approve salary increase for David Garcia, who has retained the duties of the Operation Stone Garden Administrative Coordinator to $54,759 to include fringe benefits in the amount of $23,220 for a total of $77,979. The grant will cover $18,195 of the salary approved by the Department of Homeland Security, Federal Emergency Management Agency, and the state at no cost to the county.
So this was approved through e-grants in the amount of $18,195. But as the item says, it was approved by FEMA, by Homeland Security, and by the Office of the Governor. The grant now pays $18,195 of the salary. Previously $16,000, so it did go up a little bit. And if you have any, the Operation Stone Garden will cover $18,195 of the salary. Mr. Garcia has retained the administrative duties of Operation Stone Garden, and now assists all constables will be working overtime under this grant for the first time with their grant taxes.
Okay. Questions from the court? And just for I guess the clarification, I know that this is mentioned with the Department of Homeland Security, Federal Emergency Management Agency. What are the outlines? Is there certain outlines that have been defined as to the responsibilities? Like, let's say with Federal Emergency Management.
I believe so, Judge. I think we emailed you all a copy of these. These are the operations.
Is there specifics there that you could just highlight for the court?
Let's see. I would have to get back to you, Judge. I have to reread these.
So on that item, I just wanted to make sure, of course, that the court was well aware, of course, of those responsibilities that were coming in. There is no additional request that is being asked of the general fund for this matter. So this is just an issue that we are addressing for the purpose of the actual grant modification in salary. Correct. Questions? Not? Is there a motion? So, motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion. Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous.
That was the last item I had, Judge. May I be excused?
Very well. I think that's it. Can tell Mr. Garcia. I don't know where he's at.
Thank you.
I don't know. I saw him walking back in, but is he out there? All right. He's still there?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Garcia, you shouldn't leave during your item, sir. No. All right. No, we do appreciate, of course, the work that you do, sir. Know that the court is obviously, I know that in the working relationship that has been established with our office, there's always been a clear understanding of the expectations and, of course, of what we are doing, working together. And I think that, Mr. Garcia, you've served as a good liaison between at least my office and the sheriff's office, and I appreciate it. So I just wanted to extend that to you. Okay. All right. If there is no further comments, we'll continue with the agenda. Y'all are excused. We'll move forward to item number 30, discussion and appropriate action to approve the hiring effective on May 16th, 2025 of Samantha Espinosa as a full-time assistant civil coordinator for the 365th Judicial District Court at an annual salary rate of $53,000. Judge?
Good evening, Judge, Commissioners.
Yes.
We're asking to fill a position that resulted as a result of retirement. So we're filling a position in the Civil Department. I had several excellent applicants. The decision was very difficult to make because of the high quality of applicants that we had. However, I feel that the person that I'm going to suggest that you approve for hiring Ms. Espinosa had the edge in that she's completing her master's program, has had executive responsibilities in prior employments, has supervised department personnel, and I just think she has a lot of potential to grow in this position. So I would highly recommend that she be hired for this position. And the funding is made available. The position that became vacant as a result of the resignation was paying her a slightly higher salary than this salary, but since she's coming in an entry level, we set the salary at $53,000.
That's the base salary, or
That's
already
base salary
including
plus rank benefits, of course.
So, motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Morales. Discussion. Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much, Maverick.
Yes, you,
Thank you all.
excuse Judge. Thank you, you too. Item number 31, discussion and appropriate action to transfer Pablo Garcia Jr. from Executive Assistant to Chief of Staff of the Maverick County Judge's Office. This is, of course, I'm bringing this to the court for the court's consideration, just for the standard procedure and the modification of the request when they are moving up in a certain pay grade. For that purpose, I'm asking the court's consideration for approval.
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos. Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion.
This is a lateral movement in your office.
It's within my office.
Mhm.
Yes, there is no specific change on that matter other than to just make the modification in pay.
I just had a question.
Yes.
We just need an effective date, and then if there's gonna be any change in salary from the previous person that was there. Will there be
No,
any change?
It remains as budgeted.
And just the effective date.
Yes. So that would be effective, which would be effective today. Yes.
Oh, really? Today?
He's been doing the work since probably last week, but no, Mr. Garcia, I know that he's going to be an exceptional asset to the county. He's working closely with all of the departments as well as with the commissioners. So if there's anything that the commissioners need, know that my office is here to continue that assistance directly with them. But Mr. Garcia comes with a degree in public administration. Has been working tirelessly already with the department and has been showing his excessive ability to work well with others and to unite, of course, the Maverick County team even more than what it already is. So
I wholeheartedly agree with your comments, sir. I think he'll be a great asset for the whole county.
good deal. So with that being said, there is a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Any further clarification? Not. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Thank you. Congratulations, Mr. Garcia. With that being said, we'll move on to the next item. Item number 22, discussion and appropriate action to approve the contract for Tracy Plummer for court reporter services for Operation Lone Star. This, of course, just for the purpose of the court's information. We did have a backup court reporter. We have Miss Mary O'Berry, who is the official court reporter for the OLS court. However, the backup court reporter that we had will no longer be available. So therefore, we need to just have a contract available for the court system when Mrs. O'Berry is not available in this case. So therefore, Mrs. Plummer is the individual that is will be taking the responsibilities of the prior individual as the court reporter, the past court reporter. So there has been the request, of course, was submitted to the court. There is a request submitted. This, of course, is specifically set there as to the rates of $600 per court setting that have been set. It's the same as the prior contract.
So she's
She's basically a substitute court reporter when Mrs. O'Berry's not available.
How often do you have?
So court now for that purpose, they were having them weekly. I think right now what we're looking at is specifically they're having them they're probably going to be slimming down because Judge Flores will be assisting also with the court system through the OLS court. So we're going to be looking at these cases dependent on the judge's schedule. More than likely they may be longer dockets than usual, depending on how they are. But technically it's normally once a week that's happening.
Okay.
They've slimmed down from twice a week to normally what we were having. So
Just specifically for
OLS.
OLS.
Yes. if there is any other request, it is specifically said because this is specifically a grant funded position where OLS is contracting. I don't know, Ms. Barrientos, if there would ever be a need for us through the court system. I do know that I will have certain. There may be a trial in county court that may be coming before that we may need a court reporter. In that case, that would need a separate agreement. Is that correct?
Yes, because I believe this one is specifically for OLS.
Okay. Just so that I can make sure and have that differentiated and prepare with time if there is a modification that I need to have a separate agreement for the court.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Is there a motion? Do we have a motion? Motion has been made by Commissioner Reese. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rios. Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 34. Discussion and appropriate action for Cassandra Tapia Hinojosa to commence employment as a community supervision officer effective May 13th, 2025 with a starting salary of $45,000 annually. I believe this is for the probation department. Was there specifics on that? Okay. This is all, of course, within budget and the matters, of course, of the requests that have been submitted. Is that correct, Mr. Sanchez? Okay.
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Ramos and second by Commissioner Reese. Discussion? Being there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. We've taken item number 35. Item number 36, I believe, Commissioner, you're asking for this to be taken into consideration for executive session. This is going to be based off of section 551.071, discussion with attorney and consultation for this item for the discussion of appropriate action to apply some recycled asphalt on Chaparral Crest. I do want to make sure that, of course, with the our attorney will be, of course, available. He has been on, correct? Yes. That we'll be able to proceed with that in executive session as well. Item number 37. Discussion and appropriate action to request status on emergency water declaration for the Maverick County Airport Waterworks. Commissioner?
Yes, Judge. On that one, I've had a lot of residents come to my office and reference the lack of water in Quemado. Their water wells are drying, and I know we filed for an emergency declaration, and I wanted status to see if we had heard anything or.
Yes, so I know based on the emergency resolution and the orders, of course, that were submitted back on the date. This was, of course, since August the 26th of 2024 that we've submitted for that emergency order. I personally, of course, had a visit in Austin to discuss this matter and the emergency order, not only with TDEM through the Texas Department of Emergency Management and the Office of the Governor, requesting, of course, the additional support. It has been a matter that I believe that has been left on the wayside due to this issue that all of South Texas is facing for the request. I do believe that we may need to travel once again in order to express our extreme importance to get this going in Austin, because this is just something that we're obviously not getting any type of support yet from the state nor from emergency management on the orders that were issued. And it was very clear based on that. I mean, we're looking at a matter that is not only issued for nearly 65,000 residents, but specifically more so for the number of accounts that you all have at the waterworks in Quemado, from the radar base to Normandy and Quemado, as well as the issues that we need or that we're facing for all of those individuals that have visited with us. I know that just as you have had those visits with a number of the individuals that have their farms, that have produce, that are ultimately in a loss right now. Just not too long ago, I had Mr. and Mrs. Urbina who were in my office discussing, a multi-million-dollar loss in these last 2 years in their production of pecans in Maverick County. The water district, I believe, has also put us in a predicament where even from the matters of the issue of the Maverick County Lake, we haven't been able to obtain water for that purpose. That's why I think rain right now is extremely important. Just in in moments, not all at once. But we do need to make sure that that we can continue facing this importance. I don't know. I think this was a discussion that we had with legal counsel in regards to that matter, and to see what else could be done for that purpose. And I think that it might be a good opportunity for also to possibly defer to legal on some possible questions regarding the possibilities that we can take from a legal standpoint on the concerns that we have regarding options and what we can defer from there. So I know he's on the line. I don't know if he can. I know you can hear us, but the only question is, are we already able to hear you, Mr. Matt, on these topics? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. If you want to take this into executive session, you can do that. You can discuss the legal concern you have.
Okay.
Okay.
But you take no action. Just take it to executive.
Okay.
Very well. We'll do that. Okay. Then, if that's, are you okay with that, Commissioner?
Yes,
Very well.
let's do that, because
Okay.
my concern is not the water for irrigation, for recreation. This is potable water that the residents are, their water wells are, that
Dried up.
they're drying up. And,
Human consumption is most important.
yes, and I know we had a perfect opportunity with a grant in the past, to provide them connections, and unfortunately we didn't get to do that. But we need to look for options to help these residents, and hopefully legal can guide us there.
Okay, and I'm in complete agreement with that. I think that there's obviously something that we need to do additionally based off of the orders that have been submitted. And moving forward with that, we do need to find additional action methods to bring additional results to the residents. So with that, the Commissioners Court is in agreement, of course, to take this into executive session based off of Section 551.071, discussion with attorney. We'll move on to item number 38, discussion and appropriate action to approve fiscal 2025 budget amendments. I as well have some concerns with the budget amendments that have been submitted, and I'd like to have that discussion, Mr. Grove, in regards to the budgetary process and the amendment process of how certain departments have submitted their requests. And I'd like to ask for that consideration, for this to be taken into consideration based on the legality of the process, and of course of the funding that's being considered in this budget amendment at this time. So with that, I'll take that to the further court's approval and consideration to move this into executive session based on the Section 551.071, discussion with attorney regarding the 2025 budget amendments. Item number 39-1, executive session on matters pursuant to Section 551.071, discussion with attorney, discussion and appropriate action on ongoing negotiations for the fire and EMS agreement with the City of Eagle Pass. Item number 39-2, executive session on matters pursuant to Section 551.071, discussion with attorney, discussion and appropriate action to consider possible approval of amendment to the Maverick County purchasing policy. In regards to that particular matter, I'd like to just, before we move into executive session, Commissioner, if you don't mind, and of course we can do that, I believe that this item for the item for the purchasing policy, for that request, the court, of course, was provided the copies of that. I believe this was a one-line item that y'all are requesting. Ms. Vargas, if you could just provide that to the court here in open session for that purpose, so that we can have that discussion. If the court is amenable to having this in open session, I would like to just ask for that at this time. I think it might have just been an oversight on our end for that purpose.
And I'll withdraw my request on the.
Yes, on the regular items for the presentation. Very well.
Five of the new one. Oh. We want to add those three lines that say must not exceed the authorized and approved amount by more than 15%.
Where is it?
On page 5. of the current.
Do you have the budget amendment? Those are in the executive session items, that's why. Okay,
They're
if you wanna just report that here in open session, and then that way we can go ahead and take that into discussion.
So basically, we want to add to the current policy to must not exceed authorized and approved amount by more than 15% to allow for minor price increases or shipping. Increases exceeding the variance require written explanation and additional approvals by all original authorized parties. So this item had been there in the previous policy, but when it got modified, it got left out and we didn't notice. So as we're going through our audit this year, we have some invoices that we allowed the 15% increase, and the auditors asked for the policy. So because we've always had it on the policy, we're like, here it is. And they're like, no, it's not. So we had to stop if your purchase goes over by $1 or $2, we have to send it back.
Based
We
off of
can't
the
do it
15%.
based on the current policy. So we need it in order, sometimes the shipping or sometimes you go to Walmart and the price changed by a few dollars. We wouldn't be able to approve that invoice because it's not in the policy. So we're asking that it be added for that purpose.
Okay. Is there any legal questions regarding that item? No? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Morales. Is there a second by Commissioner Rios? Discussion? Being that there is none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Okay, so we will be taking that into executive session. The matters that have been presented to the court. Give me 1 second here, just to make sure that I've got everything here. Item number 3 will be taken into executive session. Item number 36 will be taken into executive session. Item number 39 will be taken into executive session. Item number 37 will be taken into executive session. And item number 39-1 will be taken into executive session. The executive session matter for item number 2 action has already been taken on this matter. With that purpose, this will be for clarification. These items will be provided to we'll be moving into executive session, all based off of the Texas Government Code, section 551.071, consultation with attorney on the matters that are coming before the court for executive session. Let the record reflect that yes. Let me repeat this for clarification. Item number 3. Number 23 is not. No. Item number 3. The commissioner has withdrawn item number 23 for consideration. It's number 3, 36, 37, 38, 39-1. That is all the court is taking into executive session. All of these items are qualified to take into executive session based under the Texas Government Code, section 551.071, consultation with attorney. Let the record reflect that the court will retire into executive session on Wednesday, May 14th at 6:10 p.m.